Ladies and gentlemen, we're set for 3 rounds in the Shamrock Fighting Championships lightweight division. Introducing first on my right, fighting out of the title MMA blue corner, a mixed martial artist that stands 5 feet 9 inches tall. Official weight 155.6 pounds. Fighting out of St. Louis, Missouri, Kenan Kapic. Across the cage, his opponent fighting out of the First Form red corner. This mixed martial artist stands 6 feet 2 inches tall. Official weight 155 even. Fighting out of St. Louis, Missouri, Albright.
Referee Mark Wassam has the call for the Shamrock FC lightweight contest. Derek Albright in the red, Kenan Kapic in the blue tape.
I'm looking for Kapic to not waste any time.
No touch of the gloves either.
Beautiful outside leg kick, my bad.
Kapic trying to get that takedown.
Such aggression. Push towards the cage. Derek looks like he's just, having a hard time. Good inside knee. Transitions to the single leg.
Kapic dragging him down here.
Now let's see this Arnold BJJ.
Yeah, a lot of good jiu-jitsu comes out of this school alongside Kirk Huff.
Beautiful wrist control. Look for him to start going immediately for the triangle on the side that he has the wrist. He's going to bring that leg over his shoulder.
There it is.
And now try to secure. He's going to move his back opposite of his leg to try to create as much of a gap as he can to bring the other leg over. But Kapic throwing some heavy, heavy bombs.
Yeah.
He's kind of congested towards the cage. This is not a good position for Derek, but also not a good position for Kapic.
No, Kapic needs to really throw those feet off and try to get out of this position.
He needs to clear the right leg, hit the right leg from Kapic's side. If he can pass through that and immediately transition to side control where Derek's back would be against the cage, that would be huge for Kapic. But right now, this is a 50-50 position, make no mistake.
Right. Now what we're seeing here is the rubber guard position here out of Albright, who's trying to secure that triangle. What he's wanting to do is switch armbar. Nice switch out there by Kapic, though.
Both gentlemen showing a lot of skills. These outside leg kicks from the top like this, they do not feel good. I would love to see Kapic pass the guard before he comes in. I wanted to see him pass the guard.
Yeah, you got to throw those legs out if you're going to come diving in.
Needs to watch out for that up kick too. I mean, Derek at any moment can throw that with the opposite leg. Ooh, beautiful body lock. Kapic is just a physical specimen, though. Look at this.
Very strong, both of these guys here.
Derek,
now we're going to see Albright on the ground in top position here.
As I was about to say, like we saw him off his back. Now let's see him with some top control. Let's see what Kapic has in terms of his ground game to get out of a bad position. Derek is going to look to transition to the mount because his knee is already halfway past the abdomen and secures it.
Now he is in full mounted position. This is a bad place here for Kapic.
If Derek can turn clockwise, and put Kapic's head towards the cage, would be huge. Kapic needs to C-grip on his hips and push him down. This is a very high mount. Derek can do a lot from here if he's so. Oh my God! Is he going for
Ezekiel choke?
Wow. For those that don't know, that's a predominantly gi jiu-jitsu technique.
And predominantly from the bottom.
Yes, but can be done in no-gi and can be done from the top. But to see that even attempted, good on you, Derek. What a first round.
So, here is where it gets very interesting in this round. We saw the control of Kapic in the beginning. We saw the submission attempts of Albright in the second half. How do you call this one?
That one was definitely a round for Derek, simply because even though Kapic was able to land some shots from the top, make no mistake, he was constantly on defense. Even when he was landing shots, there was triangle attempts, armbar attempts, and the shots that he was landing didn't warrant the risk that he was in. And then when the transitions, when the fight changed and Derek was on top, no offense, but Kapic had no answer.
Right.
Now, if I was Derek going into round 2, look at that round. I would tell him to take the fight to the ground. Kapic does not have an answer for his top game.
Yeah, the thing that we saw here as we're looking at the instant replay, the jiu-jitsu told the story of that out of Albright. Albright was able to hold that mounted position, and Kapic had no defense. Yeah. Kapic needs to know coming into this that he cannot get in that position again, especially if it's early in the round. Second round underway. Jeremy Johnson along tonight with bantamweight standout Ariane Zekthi. Live from River City Casino.
Wow, overhand. Oh! Beautiful slam. But Derek with amazing control transitions straight into the guard. Look for him to push the knee and get into half guard like he just did.
Already did. Stepping over, using those long legs. Now he's going to attempt to break that guard. Like I said, that you don't want to end up as Kapic on the bottom in mount this early in the round.
No, and no offense, but this defense is not going to better your position. Derek is just going to transition to the mount because all you're doing is holding on. Now, holding on is good if you have like, what, 5-10 seconds left in the round. But
exactly.
You've got 2 minutes 20. You need to get that hip separation. C-grip on the hips and push him down to where you can knee to elbow. But giving up the back for the rear naked choke is not the way to get out of this position.
Kapic trying to hold on to that hand, trying to fight the hands as best he can.
It's
nice
tough, man.
roll over there. It is. It's very tough.
When you have a long guy like Derek and he's so adept at controlling the body shots. As soon as he drops his head, he's going to go to the head, fishing for that chin to try to get that rear naked choke.
Now what we're going to see here, though, is Albright is going to start to soften him up a bit with those punches, trying to hold and get rid of that hand. But he's got good control here from the back position.
The only thing I'll say is, he's a little on his right side, a little much. I'd like to see him.
And he's also crossing his ankles.
Yeah.
You don't ever want to cross your ankles. There's an ankle lock
Oh,
in that
but
position.
beautiful.
Huge there.
Fully spread underneath the chin. This might be it, Jeremy. But he doesn't have the hands locked just yet.
Kapic trying to fight it, and he survives.
Wow.
Now hammer fisting, trying to soften up Kapic. Albright doing everything he can here.
Kapic is trying to hold on to wrist, trying to hold on to what he can. Derek going right back for that rear naked, getting underneath the chin again, but now it's all about locking the hands.
Again, fighting it off here, trying to get the 2-on-1 here is Kapic. Beautiful way of surviving here, but he's still in that mounted position, just getting beat up.
Right now, Kapic needs to push down on that knee. He needs to switch to a side and push down on the knee. He needs to get back to half guard, or else the fight will be over like this. He's not intelligently defending himself.
Referee Mark Wassam right on top of the action here.
Beautiful display of top pressure and control from Derek, though. Transitioning from submissions to striking, keeping the position, staying heavy, and constantly looking to finish this fight. Very impressed with Derek right now. Very impressed with Kenan as well, staying in this fight.
Just 15 seconds remaining.
Back underneath the chin.
Credit to referee Mark Wassam for not stopping it there. Oh, he's got it potentially again. Can he survive? 10 seconds remaining.
This is deep, Jeremy. This is deep. He's going to go out. Wow!
He survives to see a round 3.
Talk about saved by the bell.
As you said, I thought he was going to go out there too. A beautiful display of fortitude. They're out of Kenan Kapic.
We were talking about heart earlier, and that was a display of it. A lot of guys would have just tapped. A lot of guys would have said, I don't see an end to this. Let it end, but not Kenan.
As we see our instant replay here, we see Albright taking control, getting that back position, looking for the rear naked choke, gets it under the chin even. Kapic does a great job fighting the hands, pulling down, making space.
Yeah, even though the arm was underneath the chin, Kapic did a good job of kind of baseball gripping the bicep and the forearm, allowing for Derek to never truly lock up the position behind his own bicep to really put some torque on that choke. So even though it was a very bad position, it still could have been worse. That's the only reason this fight is continuing. Let's see what Kapic does.
Round.
What an exciting fight, Jeremy.
Kapic throws a big overhand, misses, overcommits. Now we see Albright with double underhooks going for the knee to the body.
Kapic looks a little tired, and it's to be expected, man. When you have 2 rounds of someone on top of you fighting for submissions,
takedown.
It's a rough night. Derek just beautifully passing guard, constantly attacking the knees, constantly attacking the hips.
This is what happens when you're training jiu-jitsu constant.
Not just jiu-jitsu, if we can be honest, though. I mean, using sufficient striking to get in, right? Using a good clinch game and good wrestling.
Looking for the submission here.
looking for the key lock. It's a very tough submission to finish, but I mean, he can easily transition back and come over to the mount. He can gift wrap him from here. Knee on belly, land some punches. Oh, he's actually going for...
Darce choke in this position. Gonna try to lock it, press down on the bicep, grab over. It's almost like a reverse.
He's just...
It's almost like a reverse rear naked choke.
Well, no, if he locks the leg now,
legs, exactly.
It's a Peruvian necktie. It changes the game completely, but he gives it up. Interesting. That choke, Jeremy, when you have those legs, is a completely different animal with the amount of torque that you can actually like unleash. The Darce is deadly, don't get me wrong, but a Peruvian necktie,
oh, absolutely,
that can put you to sleep real quick.
And it's a rarely seen one in MMA, even for the try of it. Halfway through the third round here.
Beautiful top control. I mean, I would just love it. There it is.
Referee Mark Lawson has seen enough.
Kenan needs to not be angry at the ref there. You can't defend yourself by just, holding your arms out. If Kenan really wanted to intentionally defend himself, the C grip on the hips, when you have an opponent high on mount like that, you have to get his weight back down. If you're high on mount, no matter how much you move, you will not move your opponent. You have to get his weight back on your hips. That way, when you move, your opponent moves. It was a very good stop by Mark, if I have to say, because think about it.
Absolutely. There was nothing left.
Round 1 and 2 was more of the same. What are you going to do? Let him take more punishment in round 3? I mean, credit to Kenan. He came out here and he wanted to fight and go out on his shield, but Mark did his job there, and then I think it was a good call.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at this one again here. Gets the mounted position, just starts dropping bombs.
Look at how high he is on mount. Even though Kenan is kind of what's the word I'm looking for here? He's
very high.
No,
anyway.
He's exploding with his hips, trying to create a gap, but he's just too high on the mount.
Well, let's send this one up to Joe Parisi to make it official.
Again.
1 minute, 40 seconds of the third and final round. Referee Mark Wassam has called a stop to the action, declaring your winner by TKO to 2 strikes, Derek Albright!
A beautiful win there for Derek Albright and a beautiful display of jiu-jitsu. But we still have more action to come. Coming up next, it's Scott Marler. He'll be taking on Shannon Borton.